Luffy has gained many friendships and haters throughout his journey, but who of these people respects Luffy more? We'll be ranking the characters Luffy has met in his journey with a respect meter. The first one Luffy meets is Kobe. Luffy helped him defeat Alvida, making him become a really strong marine. Kobe believes Luffy is very cool, but he understands their future but a bit dark. I give him a 75% on respect meter. Right after is Zoro. His respect Luffy was able to gain firstly by freeing him from the Marines, then in their voyage as pirates. Though there have been times where Zoro had to remember Luffy the way of being a captain, like when he told him Usopp was going to ask sorry if he wanted to rejoin the crew, or more recently when he told Luffy to go rescue Vivi from where she is, just if she truly is in danger. His loyalty to Luffy is astounding, and these two will never cease to fight for each other. Obvious 100% of meter. Next, Buggy. Being pathologically cartoon evil, he despises Luffy for being his rival as an Emperor of the Sea. And while secretly being kinda grateful, Buggy thinks Luffy is dumb for freeing him from Impel Down. He has 30% of respect for Luffy. Following's Usopp. He sees Luffy as his best friend, but their relationship really trembled at Water 7 when he put the going merry above the crew. He asks sorry, and now he very bravely fights for his crew, even though he won't admit to the enemy that his captain's becoming king of the pirates. He got only 95% of respect for Luffy. After Sanji. He always saw Luffy as a worthy captain, but his respect meter skyrocketed after Luffy helped him face his childhood problems, making him understand the importance of asking for help in a crew. Moving 100% here. Then is Mihawk. Since he met Luffy, he admires him for his will to chase the hardest dream there is, and how much of a good people reader he truly is, without even realizing it. He has 80% of respect for Luffy. Afterwards is Arlong. Luffy defeated him fair and square, but if Arlong was still around, he would continue to hate him because, well, he is a human. Just like his big fan, Hody Jones, if we want to count him. They both got 5% of respect for Luffy. Next is Nami. She was very little into pirates at first, but once Luffy saved her from Arlong, she began to trust Luffy and his crew only. For how much she thinks Luffy is stupid, she'll support him till the day he becomes Pirate King. She respects him at 100%. Smoker is next. After failing multiple times to capture these Straw Hats, he actually doesn't think of them as the classical pirates, but rather pirates but with integrity. The times that Luffy saved him and Toshigi as Marines really stood out to him, raising his meter to 55%. Then we got Chopper. He was initially scared of his captain due to his hunger, and cause Chopper thought to be seen as a monster. When he understood the type of person Luffy is, he couldn't help but to want to be his doctor and nakama. We got another 100%. Next is Crocodile. He moderately respects Luffy for his will, and understanding his value, when Luffy freed him from Impel Down and got to Marineford, he clutched for the gang many times. This is a 45% of respect, because he would still go for the kill if he had the chance. After is Vivi. She's very grateful to Luffy for saving her from Crocodile and opening her world to the piratry, topic that she actually much prefers to ruling as a queen. Many argue that after the ex-friend Mark scene, she did become a Straw Hat. Perfect plus for a 90% respect meter. Next we have Karoo D. Ock. Many don't realize that this guy has suffered with Vivi for her entire life, and he really did his best to fight along with the Straw Hats, as seen in Little Garden, so I give him a 88.69% of respect to Luffy. Next is Nico Robin. She is the saved member by excellence of the Straw Hats. She initially thought of them as really good people, and when she got saved by Luffy against CP9, he made her want to live again, go on adventures as a pirate, and fight for Luffy. Another easy 100%. Next, we got Enel. He thinks he's the main character of the show and regards everybody else to be common mortals while him to be God. Luffy though was the only one who was immune to his lightning powers, managing to defeat him. Only for that his respect meter raises to 10%. Frankie's the next. Out of the Straw Hats, he had the most beef with Luffy. In fact, they even had a on par 1v1, but he really began to respect Luffy at Enies' lobby. He understood he was the one whose perfect ship wanted to build for, to navigate the world, and bursted crying. Another Nakama made 100% respect. Next are Kuma and Bonnie. Since they were children, they worshipped the god Nika with their life, and they were very amazed to find out Luffy resembled temperamentally and literally said god. Kuma in fact went out of his way to send each of the Straw Hats to an island where they could improve to face the new world, where Bonnie gladly teamed up with Luffy. A follower's respect to their god and friend amounts at least to 90%. After we got Brook. He immediately accepted Luffy's offer to join his crew and easily befriended him. He demonstrated himself to be a faithful teammate and would continue to be like that for the person who saved his life and gave him a reason to live. His respect meter to Luffy is 100%. Next, there's Moria. He is too busy rummaging over his losses as a depressed vampire to care that much about Luffy. Even if he did try to defeat him and say that he wouldn't be able to navigate in the new world and stuff like that, which he was right at the time. He has 35% of respect to Straw Hat. After we got Rayleigh. When he met Luffy, he was astounded at how much he resembled his ex-captain Goldie Roger, saying his exact same quotes, sharing his same ideals, and wearing the same straw hat. He then became Luffy's master, training him in Haki and Endeavor Fruit Mastery, and he truly believes Luffy will make it big one day. This one is a 95%. Next is Kizaru. 2 years after almost no defeating the Straw Hats at Sabaody, Kizaru was surprised to see them at Egghead as an Emperor crew, and Luffy was able to show him how much he improved. Fighting against him, he understood that Luffy could really make a difference one day, and even brought him food to heal up. He respects Luffy at 70%. Next is Boa Hancock. In the beginning, she saw Luffy as just another man, but when Luffy jumped on her sister's back to cover her slave mark, she gradually fell in love with him. Her gooning to Luffy then got so strong that it got encoded into Snake's blood, and every day she wishes to marry him. She respects him at 100%. Next up's Magellan. For how much of a generally mature person Magellan is, he despises Luffy very much. In fact, it is because of Luffy and Buggy's army of prisoners that he lost his job as a warden, confirming the 30% respect meter for Luffy. Right up is Blackbeard. Him and Luffy, as even Eiichiro Oda stated, are two sides of the same coin. What this means is that those two will never get along, and that Teach sees Luffy as a pawn, an obstacle to kill in order to conquer the world. But we know Luffy will never allow that. He respects Luffy at 10%. After is Bon Clay. He is the homie of the Straw Hats, but especially to Luffy. Their friendship is something very precious, as Bon Clay would do anything to help Luffy, like yelling at him to fight a virus or just straight up sacrificing for him. This is a trustworthy 100% of a meter. Next is Whitebeard. At Marineford, Luffy challenged Newgate at saving Ace bravely, reminding him of the stubbornness of Goldie Rogers and the personality of Ace, of which he was annoyed but still liked. When Ace was saved, he earned at least a bit of Whitebeard's respect as a pesky brave kid. He respects Luffy at 70%. Marco's next. A bit like Whitebeard, he too was shocked in seeing that Luffy was Ace's little bro, and wanted to do everything in his power to protect him and letting Ace's will live inside of him. Also because it was the most similar thing he associates as a strong leading figure Ace-like. He has 85% of respect for Luffy. Then is Akainu. He absolutely hates Luffy. He already went as far as to use dirty tricks in the war, like mocking Ace saying that Whitebeard will die as a loser, and after he got the kill, he was satisfied to at least get a hit on Luffy's chest and making him mentally break down. He has 0% of respect for poor Luffy. Next is Shanks. He knows Luffy since he was a kid, and he too sees the insane potential Luffy has, and how much his personality even as a child was similar to Roger's, who was Shanks' ex-captain. At the moment, Shanks is waiting their meeting, and one thing we can be sure of, Shanks still does not see him at his level. I can give him a 90% of respect. Next are Ace and Sabo. They grew up with Luffy, trained with Luffy, and even heard a secret dream. They see him as a troublemaker, but a worthy all-iron rival. They do anything for him, and vice versa, as we see in Marineford at Dressrosa. They have 99% of respect for Luffy, just because they wouldn't join his crew. After is Jinbei. When they first met, he was happy to meet Ace's little brother and wanted to join him in the war. Jinbei was able to clutch for Luffy not only by bringing him out of the war, but also by helping him overcome his PTSD. After he helped him, he realized how much he wanted to have him as a captain. His respect meter then raised to 100%. Now there's Shirahoshi. She didn't like how much Luffy made her cry, but then he showed her the beauty of going outdoors, and the fact that she wouldn't need to worry about the dangers of it, because he was going to be there to protect her. She has 85% of respect for him. Up next is Doflamingo. He was one of the few of Luffy's foes that actually thought his crew was underestimated even before encountering him. Luffy completely caught him off guard with his Boundman form. He is an impulse down now and he still yearns to destroy the world and destroy Luffy. He got 25% of respect for him. After is Bartolomeo. He made this entire ship Luffy themed, he got his autograph, he even left Shanks' crew by burning his flag to make everybody know he is on the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. He feels that way since the day Luffy survived the execution at Logtown. Ever since then, he became a huge fan of his actions. Obvious 100% respect meter. Next is Law. At Sabaody, Law managed to get a glimpse of what Luffy is like. A strong rival with a strong and caring personality, and Law took note of that, as 2 years later he was the first person Law asked to team up to defeat Kaido. Not only they managed to do it, but Luffy also saved him from Doflamingo in Dressrosa. He has 85% of respect for Luffy. Then we got Fujitora. He fights Luffy at the end of Dressrosa since he is a pirate, but once you get to see his will to save his friends and him announcing his moves before he attacks because the Admiral is deaf, Fujitora starts seeing him as an incredibly strong and kind guy, and only for that time he wishes he could see. His respect meter for Luffy raises to 80%. Up next is Katakuri. At the beginning, he saw Luffy as just a pesky brat, but their battle was extenuating, and he didn't see Luffy want to give up not even for a second. By the end of the battle, Luffy overcomes him in everything he's good at, and he gets seen by Katakuri too as the future king of the pirates. He has 90% of respect for Luffy. Her captain, Linlin, though, sees him as just a brat, and she isn't the type of person to feel respect for her enemies, even for those who defeated her. Doesn't surprise me, she can't even control her hunger. She has 10% of respect for Luffy. Now on to Kid and Killer. It may seem weird, but Killer and his Captain Kid, no pun intended, share a very sane competition between their crew and the Straw Hats. They respect Luffy's strength and determination, that in a raw way is the same one as Kid's, and they worked perfectly as battle allies against Kaido. They have 70% of respect for Luffy. Speaking of Kaido, even if he tried many times to discourage Luffy with words and give him the worst beat-ups he ever felt, he admires his will to keep fighting, and as they go all out in their two final attacks, Kaido understands that the Joy Boy who'll defeat him is Luffy. Kaido has 70% of respect for him. Now his daughter Yamato, on the other hand, has got a very high esteem for Luffy. Interacting with him, he reminded her much about Ace in determination, strength, and most importantly, ideals. Hers and Kaido's don't coincide at all, and Yamato and Luffy care much more about freedom than raw strength. She has 90% of respect for Luffy. Next is Momonosuke. After Luffy gave him the bravery needed to firstly say he too wants to take down Kaido, then help him hurt Kaido and move Onigashima, Momo began to see him as a big bro kind of figure. A strong, wise and free person he enjoys acting like children with. He respects Luffy at 95%. After is Rob Lucci. After he lost to Luffy at Enies Lobby, the feeling of a notorious pirate being still on loose, and the fact that he wasn't able to serve the government well, were able to get him to awaken his devil fruit and confront Luffy again in Egghead. He lost again, but his hate for Luffy is still present, raising his meter to 35%. Next up is Vegapunk. He respected Luffy before meeting him, given his fame as an emperor, but his respect for him peaked when he witnessed Luffy's Gear 5th transformation, making him understand that Luffy is the god Nika. This realization made him trust the Straw Hats with his life in order to reach some pretty important goals. He respects Luffy at 90%. And there you go, that's how much every character respects Luffy for ya. Feel free to tell me in the comments what do you think about Luffy, or how many times I've said Luffy in this video. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more voyages into the world of One Piece. Gummy World is just beginning, and every bit of support helps this channel grow and share more with you. With that said, catch you next time.